Oh, it's working, I think. This is the part where we wait for people to join us, Ross and Fauna. So you just drink your coffee. So this is the part where you show how great you are at drinking coffee.
I probably shouldn't open my iPad so I can watch this, eh?
No, you can't see us right now. You're good. You're good. How's your morning going so far?
Tremendous. It's
Good.
it's so good to have the house full. So good to have the kids over. Just absolutely blessed.
Yeah, that's nice. I don't know how well our Fun Friday is going to go today. I'm just warning people as they log on because I'm downtown in a small town using like a HubSpot Wi-Fi thing. So I'm hoping that it's going to stay working. Oh, look, your fans are already. Do we get a song this morning? No, you don't get a song, but you get to tune in to him later when he posts another one. But all right. Well, welcome to Virtual Coffee Club. What?
That was clear. No, you do not get a song.
No, Darlene, I'm sorry, you don't. I'm under strict instruction not to ask the celebrity to sing a song today. So don't make me break my contract that I had to sign with this man. But welcome to Virtual Coffee Club. This is our Fun Friday where we like to bring in a special guest and introduce you to somebody in a community somewhere around the world. That's the kind of the fun part about it. And so we travel to beautiful British Columbia today to introduce you to this former Albertan, Mr. Ross Edey. Welcome to Fun Friday, my friend.
Thank you, Jody. And still Albertan. Basically, I'm bilingual, so I'm one of the ones that is driving around being careful not to get my truck scratched because it's still got my Alberta plates.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
I feel you this week. I feel you. But and your sidekick, of course, that you have with you is your lovely daughter, Fauna Buse. So welcome, Fauna. Thanks for helping Ross with the technology today.
It wasn't too bad. We did good. No swearing.
Yeah, no swearing.
She was
So
busy
much
eating. She was busy eating breakfast and on the phone, and I had a heart attack getting her in here.
It's all good. It's all good. Oh, look this. Don's on. Wow. My brother's on the big show, he says.
Now you might get a song.
Yeah, there you go. Well, if people aren't familiar with you, Ross, I wanted to bring you on for a few reasons. One, you have a really incredible past, things that you have done in your life with your family, and you ran the Stampede Ranch for a number of years that people may have heard of outside of Calgary, of course, in the Longview area. And secondly, I bring you on because during this COVID time, you have been someone who's created a really cool community on your social media to share your passion of music. And you're not, a Canadian recording artist by any means, but I think, oh, that's really loud. But you have really helped people to feel connected, and you've created this incredible community where people look forward to showing up on your Facebook page to hear a song. And I think that's really, really cool.
Thank you, Jody. And it's been really healthy for me. Basically, it's been a tough time, but the reality was through the boy program, I learned that probably the main ingredient of living life to the fullest is having fun. When I was first asked my father to come over to the ranch to create the educational program, I knew that I needed his approval way more than was healthy. So I asked him, I said, how am I going to be judged? And he said, that's a real good question. And he thought, and he says, you know what? If I get back from work and there's smiles on the boys' faces, you've had a good day. And I said, yeah, I could work with that, basically. And that became the core of the philosophy that we worked with over 1,500 traumatized young people. Is the whole essence was we start from fun, we have them ensure that they feel safe, and then build from there. The first 3 boys that I started out with, when I said it's time to do school, and I won't say it on air, but they said to me, but it was more or less, we don't do school. And I had to retool in a heartbeat because I was raised military, father was military, and that F off word I don't adhere to very well. So basically I couldn't have made any more mistakes than I did the first 3 months. But I then went to father and I said, I'm not your cowboy. You got to get somebody else because I don't like myself. I'm not sleeping in the night. I don't have any relationships with the boys, and I can't work if I can't have relationships with people. And he said, how can I help? And I said, bugger off. I said, if you're not looking over my shoulders. I had 5 years of working over at Eden Valley with the First Nations people, and I learned the value of relationships. Basically, Eden Valley is a bit of an oxymoron for the simple fact it's a very traumatized society, and yet when I drive across that bridge, I know that I'm going to get an energy fix of love that I don't get anywhere else in the world. Those people basically have more fun than anybody, and it's tied to a very real reality that they're tied to source. They're basically live life to the fullest under very traumatic situations. So we took off from there and we created a philosophy for those guys that said, no, I don't do school. I created a barn school. And in that, I basically went to the guys and I said, okay, guys, you win. If you want to stay academically retarded, that's up to you. All I ask for you, I have to keep you safe from each other and keep father's property safe, keep the animals safe. I always had 3 or 4 really good old ponies in the yard that they could go out and be loved and loved. And they thought they had won the lottery. So it wasn't 10 minutes that they're up on the roof sunbathing. I looked up and saw father shaking his head as he drove out the yard. For about 3 weeks, the leader of the bunch came in. He said, this sucks, basically, Dad. This is so boring. How the hell did you ever grow up out here? I said, really quite easy. Basically, I've climbed every mountain in the first range here. I rode every day. I basically fished. I swam. Why can't we do that? I said, basically, it comes down to trust. And they said, well, how do we get your trust? And I had them. So basically, from then on, it was a half a fun for the school day and a half of work, and very objectively measured work, very low-level work. And it ended up in that they were attacking the curriculum on a regular basis. I then had to go get a real teacher. I was blessed to be able to get Danny Fox from Nathan, who was also running away from the public system, so to speak. And he came out and took over the part of the school that would adhere to the really high-level students. And I would work with the people that just needed to feel safe and feel good about themselves. And we operated as a team for 35 years with some amazing successes. Yep, we lost you for a minute. Did I out-talk you? One of the reasons
I can still hear you, so it's good.
One of the reasons I have Fauna here is she knows basically there's no trouble getting me to talk. The trouble is getting me to shut up. So she said, we're going to find out how good Jody is.
Well, I can't elbow you, but yeah.
So back to the music and the grieving process. I knew when I headed into that, and especially with COVID, I'm here alone, and I knew I needed a community. I basically I always had, my music has been a mistress. Gail was my partner, and I found out that with the wonders of the iPad, the video part of it, that I could video my songs and play them back, and all of a sudden I wasn't hearing total crap. And as I changed the chords I was playing in and changed the tempo, I had started to have a lot of fun. And any song I put on iPad, probably I've played 100 times with different levels until I finally can listen to it and say to myself, you know, that's not that bad. So I go. So that's fun. But the really healthy part, Jody, is the community that has jumped in and supported me. I think partially because of relationships I've built through the years, through the hockey world, and through just being a part of the Nathan community. Nathan supports everybody. If you're called up your hometown, no matter what, once you're Nathan forever. And it's helped me get through a very difficult time. So I'm very grateful and very appreciative of that. And it comes pretty much down to an energy exchange. I was introduced to the energy world by this little lady here when she had her first round of cancer. And unbeknownst to a lot, and not surprisingly, I went in a big ditch. Basically, I went to the negative what ifs. I probably cried 1,000 tears and walked a mile around my pool table trying to figure out how I was going to get along in life without her. First time I walked into her room, she says, no, Dad, I don't need that shit energy in here. Turn around, go outside. You're seeing me in the coffin. I see me as an old lady. Until you can see me as an old lady, I don't want you in here. So I went out in the waiting room, and I probably cried for a half hour. And all of a sudden I thought, what if she lives? What if this works? And without being silly about it, Jody, my heart exploded. Basically, I felt a rush of energy that I've never ever felt before. I never cried one more tear after that through her whole cancer dance. Her and Dusty already had made the definitive decision they were going to have fun through it. If you listen or read Fauna's first book, you recognize just what an amazing journey they turned the cancer dance into. And of course, it was such a beautiful dance. Then the universe said, well, here, I'll give you another dose. So they had to have another turn on the floor. And I didn't cry through that fear. I'm a heart patient, so I have to be very, very aware of anxiety and fear. And basically, I now know how to tap into source. And one of my main tap-ins is the people who support me on Facebook. If I'm down here and sitting feeling sorry for myself and crying up a bit, I know that all I've got to do is generate a half-assed song and throw it on Facebook, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of love thrown back at me. And without being silly about it, then I can go to bed at night and sleep. And yeah. I'm very grateful for that.
Well, which I think is a cool point, because I know that social media in general, a lot of people see the negatives on that and they use that as a place to voice sort of negative energy. And there's a show right now, a documentary on Netflix, sort of talking about the dangers and the scares of social media. But I like what you're doing, and even what we have in Coffee Club here, because it shows that there's a really positive energy that can happen. And if we choose to go that route into positive energy, we can create really great community. And I love that you're a living, breathing example of what that positivity on social media can do. Helping you through COVID, helping you through grief and mourning, losing your wife, helping you through everything. Like it's really, really cool.
That's so true. And the other day when you're on your coffee show, I put the comment on that it's perfection at some level of none of us understand. And you came right back and said, yes, perfect imperfection. And I think the COVID situation is a real eye-opener as to how valuable connection is for us, because it's being taken away from us. And all of a sudden people are rising up and say, no, you're not going to take our connection away from us. We matter to each other, and we need to be able to be out, and we need some hugs. That was the big one. I'm a hugger, basically, and a big hugger. And I've got a community over here at the golf club that the serving crew and the clubhouse crew that have basically just embraced my trip with me. And we do a lot of non-COVID hugging over here.
Ooh, illegal hugging. Nice.
And so far, nobody's coughing or sneezing. And it's an interesting time to be experiencing life. I'm glad I'm here being able to witness how the universe can play with us and give us challenges that I know we'll meet in the end. You know, basically we'll find our own way to ensure that we care about each other and care for each other. And I think right at the present time, we're having that thrown right in our face. And I love you, and I love your show for that simple reason, is basically it allows people to see the value of connection. Like, your community is growing on a regular basis, and there's only one real reason for that, is because you exude love. Now we're back to your love life. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's exuding. Yeah. But that's okay. Were you surprised when you sort of took that? Because it's a real step that people sometimes, I don't know, some people I think don't feel any fear of sharing things on Facebook, and that's usually the people that are maybe sharing a little bit too much. But for you to take that sort of first step to record that song and then put it up on Facebook, what was that like? And then were you surprised by how much love came back to you from it?
Yes, absolutely. And I was surprised, and I really surprised my family, because I don't sing in public. I don't do jam sessions. My music, as I said, it's my mistress. Basically, I can spend 4 hours in the basement. Gail and I had a standing chuckle at each other. I went back and forth to Eden Valley, working for 5 years after I was retired, to keep their e-learning school going, and it was an absolute blessing, because I was the hub of an internet cafe for the people to come and just basically have fun, laugh. They belly laugh still out there. I don't hear belly laughs in our society, and I just loved every minute of it. But I'd phone Gail every night, and 3 times I'd phone her, and she'd start to laugh. And I said, "What?" She said, "I thought you were in the basement again. I forgot you were over there."
Which mistress was it that day? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I do have to tell one story on this little girl here. Is early in the session when I started putting songs on, she said, "Dad, you know, you're going to basically be inundated with casseroles." So I thought, "Oh, that's not bad." And you know what? She lied.
Yeah, no casseroles.
No casseroles.
Oh,
I think this is one of those careful what you wish for things, though.
yeah.
Do you even like casseroles?
I've learned to. I like
It depends. Yeah.
anything
And they
other than hot dogs.
and then we could do a whole other show on how casseroles are the gateway to something else, but we won't. We won't go there today. I'm just teasing.
Let's chat.
Yeah. That'll be the late night coffee club. Maybe we'll have like a gin club or something. I don't know, but it's really good. But it's been really fun to watch sort of the music and the pieces grow through you. And I was talking yesterday on Coffee Club about that. I feel our world needs a kindness revolution right now. What do you think about that?
Oh, it's so apparent. And again, that the universe talks to us, and it's basically showcasing the world we would have without it. Because when we're not allowed to associate and not allowed to congregate, our weddings and our funerals are taking a hit, and we're feeling it. So basically, we're being showcased a world without kindness, and we're not liking it.
Yeah, and I think it's getting creative for us on how we can do that in a safe way that keeps people safe and balances in. I think Fauna and I talk about this a lot, in balancing in the people who are over here who are afraid, and the people who over here who have none at all, and the people who are in the middle. And how do we group hug everybody who may not want to be hugged virtually?
Yeah,
I guess.
And the real cool thing, especially with my emotional songs, and I kind of got a cool story. I feel there is Brentster, or our buddy Brent, down in Mazatlan, invited Gail and I to sit with Brian Good and his wife of the Good Brothers. And of course, Brian and I had instant connection, and we talked right music and for the 4 hours of Brent's show. And I had alluded to him that I'd just written a song about an old cowboy that had passed away. I called it "No Tears for Cowboy Years." But I got to openly admit to you that I cried for the whole time I wrote it. I cried every time that I write it. And he said, "Ross, if you aren't emotionally attached to a song, you're not going to have any opportunity for that song to have any emotional attachment to other people." So the extension of that is my role at the ranch pretty much became counselor. When you're in the barn school with the kids that say, "No, I don't do school, screw off," my job was to get them to feel good about themselves and to get them to feel safe. So basically that is counseling. My first, I think probably my best grieving songs were I Called Her Phone. And that was a reality because I do use Gail's phone, and I've left her a message on there, but I have my phone. And periodically, if I feel I've got a little bit of overload of water, I'll phone myself and hear her voice and crash. And I probably have had, I'm going to say 10 to 20 people private message me and say, "Ross, that touched my heart, and I'd like to talk to you about this, about that, and whatever." So it's opened up a realm of me being able to offer, as you allude to, what kindness I have to offer by being supportive to somebody else that's feeling an emotional attack like the process has been. So it's been an interesting ride, to say the least. And I really do think I'm going to be a little arrogant when I say I'm playing so much that I know my singing and my songwriting is come along. I think it's still about a 3 out of 10. I'm on my way to be the 8 out of 10 of my mentor and my mentor. And I do want to touch on, because I know you and Fauna are going to go down as soon as we get COVID out, and we're going to experience the bash together. And I want to allude to you that when you're talking connection and I'm talking the exchange of energy, that experience is a way beyond a whole bunch of people getting drunk and enjoying dancing, whatever. There's a community and a connection down there where when I wrote in the song I wrote to Brent with regard when he came up here and tried to die on us, I thought I would amuse him, so I wrote a professional songwriter write about himself. And it was one of those that came right from the heart, and I think the universe jumped in, and it was really well done, I thought. And it alluded to the fact that he's down there with a wide open heart, and there's an exchange of love in that 300 to 400 people that are there on every Tuesday that is beyond understanding. And then you mix in with that the vendors out on the beach that again are like the indigenous up here, to whereby they're laughing at each other. You'll see them gathered together with a whole load of trinkets that all of us come home with way too much because we love them to death. But when you see them together playing cards and laughing together, it just warms your heart to the essence. So I'd say to everybody, go down and experience that energy exchange, and I'll guarantee you're going to want to go for a fix more than one time. It's just an amazing. Yeah. And we're going.
We're all going to Mexico. It's happening for sure. And our 20 minutes has come and gone so quickly. So I know I'm going to have you back to have more fun Friday with us. But in the meantime, I feel like my suggestion/challenge for you, my friend, is I think you should write a book.
Well, it's interesting. Fawn's laughing in the background. Mm-hmm. I'm in the process, basically, and I feel it's a little payback. I'm so appreciative of the Facebook community I have. I am in the process of writing what the ranch has taught me about life, and I'm not going to publish it. I'm going to put it on a Facebook group that I'm going to share with the people who have supported me. And if they choose then to add people to the group, that will be their choice. And if it can help anybody else become as fearless as I'm becoming, I'm not fearless yet, but I'm well on my way. I will feel rewarded for it. So it's in the process. And the other thing, Jody, it fills in the time that I am here alone. I'm at the stage I'll freely broadcast that I had a partner and I had a mistress, and right at the present time, I'm not too sure whether I'm going to focus on my past mistress and make it my partner and have somebody else be the mistress, or whether the universe will bring another partner into my life, and then my music will have to stay being a mistress. So, yeah.
I don't know. 4 hours in the basement sounds kind of exciting. You'll have to maybe look into that a little bit. I'm just teasing you. Okay. So you're gonna become a collaborative blog writer for me. So be ready for this. No, and then look at that. Our time has come to an end, just like that. Thank you, though, for taking some time to connect with us today. I love hearing your stories. I want to hear more of them. That's why I'm encouraging you to write even more. And if people want to come over to your Facebook page, I hope they will, and see your songs. And we'll share some on here so we can introduce some of those songs to more people from the Coffee Club. And just thank you for being a part of it, and it was so great to connect with you today.
Thanks, Jody. Thank you for being you.
Big hugs. That looked actually super creepy. I'm sorry, but it meant to be a nice hug. Yeah. All right, you guys.
Hugs don't work.
Well, I'll pop in on Sunday on my way home to get a real one. So, okay. Thanks, you guys. We'll talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye, everybody.